it's East Angel back again. Today I'm bringing you a response video to a thread that I saw started by CGC Vinyl. I'm going to post this link down below. He was asking what are your top 5 bass players of all time. There are many bass players, wow, in the music world. I'm going to mention a couple of honorable mentions, but I'm going to tell you my 5 picks that are my top favorite bass players. So quickly, I'm going to mention the honorable mentions very quickly. One is Michael Anthony from Van Halen. You can see here in the background. You have Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath, iconic, legendary bass player. Another one that I really enjoy is Tony Lewis, rest in peace, bass player from the band The Outfield. Robert Trujillo from Metallica. He's the recent bass player from Metallica. Awesome bass player. He really stressed that bass play. Wow, I'm telling you, awesome. And now I'm going to show you there are many more, but those are some of my honorable mentions. So I'm going to quickly show you my 5 picks. Okay, the first one is one of the original bass players on the rock and roll era, and it's Paul McCartney from the Beatles. What can I say? Iconic, one of the you can say godfathers of rock and roll, from the British of rock and roll. We know Paul McCartney, he's still with us, thank God, and he's still making music at the age that he has, and he plays a whole bunch of other instruments, not only bass, but when he was in the Beatles, he was the bass player of the Beatles, and he's one of my top favorites. So yeah, Paul McCartney from the Beatles is one of them. Okay. Next up, that I also enjoy and love, it is Geddy Lee from Rush. This is Rush 2112. It's a great album. And what can I say about Geddy Lee? He's so awesome. He's the brainchild from this band, and he's one of my top favorite. So yeah, Geddy Lee from Rush is another one of my bass players that I really enjoy. Okay, next up is another one that I truly love, and another one that is still with us today, still making music. He's a founding member. He was the one who did this band, and it's a famous band throughout the world, and it is Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. And I love Steve Harris. That guy, he still plays the bass player like he was 20. He's amazing. Wow, I saw him live a couple of times back in the 90s and the 2000s. Yeah, I saw him twice live when I used to live in Puerto Rico in 1992, I think it was the Fear of the Dark tour. I saw him for the first time live, and he was right in my face. Oh my God, and I just love it when he pointed that bass player like he was a machine gun, and he pointed right in my face. That was one of the greatest memories from him. But he's an awesome bass player. This Iron Maiden, of course, the debut album, one of my top favorite. And Steve Harris, what can I say? Amazing bass player, and he's still making music today. Next, it's a bass player that I also truly love. Sadly, he's not with us anymore. He tragically passed away back in 1986. And it is, of course, Cliff Burton from Metallica. This is my favorite Cliff Burton album from Metallica. I love the first one, Kill 'Em All. I also love Master of Puppets, but this is my top favorite out of all those 3 Cliff Burton era albums with Metallica. And what can I say? Very sad. I remember when I was in school at the time when his passing, and a friend of mine told me, "Oh, Chris Burton, just read on the news that Cliff Burton tragically passed away." I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Are you kidding?" And no, it was true. First, when I got home, it was on the newspaper. I used to live in Puerto Rico, and Cliff Burton was big time, even in Puerto Rico at the time in the 80s. It was 2-page, a huge 2-page liner. Cliff Burton dies in a horrific bus accident. The bus, skidded, something like that, and he got thrown off the bus and the bus fell on him. That was a very tragic way to lose a life, especially his. And he was just beginning. He was very young. He's super talented. His bass playing is iconic. Robert Trujillo from Metallica says that he's his main influence, and he plays the bass player just like Cliff Burton. Instead of using the pick, he uses his fingers, and that's very hard to master. And thankfully, he does it just like Cliff Burton. Cliff Burton was a beast in playing bass. And what can I say? Just listen to the song Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth from the first album. Iconic bass player solo. Wow, it's awesome. So yeah, Cliff Burton, rest in peace. I still miss, like everybody, us Metallica fans, still miss him. And I still cannot believe he's gone way too soon. Yeah, Cliff Burton. Okay. Last but not least, this guy, he's a total legend. And what I mean is, he's a bass player, but he doesn't have his own band. He doesn't do his own music, but he's been a bass player for many artists. And it's a long list. Since the 60s, I'm not recall, 70s, around there, he started out. He's been a bass player. I'm gonna pick a couple of them out of my head, but there's so many. I'm talking about Cher, Toto, wow, there's so many. I'm telling you, the list is huge. He has a long resume of artists that he's been a bass player. And one of the artists that he played the bass more and on that artist's albums is from Phil Collins, and I'm talking about the bass player Leland Sklar. He's still also with us today, and he still plays the bass, and he still plays the bass with many artists on the road. But Leland Sklar, especially from Phil Collins' solo career, he's a great bass player. Oh wow! And he also has a YouTube channel that he talks a lot, and he even plays the bass to many of these songs at the same time. I'm very sad that sometimes he plays the bass with songs that he played to, and YouTube automatically blocks it. It's stupid because he's the artist, so whatever. But he's a great bass player. I'm telling you, he's a long list of artists that he has played, not only on tour but in albums like this one. This is one of my favorites from Phil Collins, and he's the bass player from here. Many of the albums from the early on the 80s, mostly all the 80s albums from Phil Collins, he's the bass player on these albums. But like I said, he has long list: Cher, Toto, oh wow, so many. Just go Wikipedia and you'll see the long list of artists. So Leland Sklar, really love that bass player. He's awesome. He looks like a good guy, but I can tell. Wish I could meet him someday. But anyway, those are my 5 top bass players. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, go check CGC Vinyl. Great thread that I really enjoyed. I hope there's more people out there who will join in. And there's, like I said, there's so many other bass players, so much. But these are my top 5, and the honorable mentions already mentioned. So anyway, but yeah, this is Angel, and I hope you guys have a great week, like I always say, and rock on. Bye bye.